Alright, so this is the first day of this job. So I need to put a driveway in coming off the road here. So there's this ditch here that's already here, and I need to put a culvert pipe in. But I don't want to mess around with this being out in the road like this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this trench right here, and I'm going to drive over and start cutting the driveway so I can have a place to be. Once I have a place to be, then I can mess around and I can dump gravel off. But right now, there's no way for me to dump gravel off. If I bring a dump truck over, I have to be right in the middle of the road. This is a bad intersection. I'm going to fill this in, just make my way up a little bit, get a nice little spot established that I can actually get a dump truck into. This goes up 8 feet or so right here. So it's going to come up like this, and then it's going to be like a switchback. It's going to kind of hug the hill. So I'll cut in and I'll level it out. So it's going to come right through here. Now I'm going to try to stay within 12% slope. If you guys watch my videos, you'll know that I like to always stay under 12%. I'm not sure if it's possible on this one. I'll try to get as close as I can to that. But it is what it is. There's really not much option in it. So I'm going to come straight up like this. And I already marked it out ahead of time. That's kind of like the center of the road. So it's going to come this way, and then it's going to kind of curve this way. And so up here, this project is, right now it's just to put a mobile home in. Actually, it's really just a camper. And so what he wants is he wants a 100 by 100 spot cleared. And then, so that's just the trees, just take down the trees and clear the debris out of here. And then he wants a level pad for the camper. So the camper is 30 something feet long. So we're gonna do 36 feet long, 16 feet wide. We're gonna put a level spot in with some gravel. And in that area, we're also gonna do a 50 by 50 area of taking the stumps out. So the rest of the 100 by 100, we'll just be cutting down the trees and leaving the stumps. So people go really fast on this road, so I really got to watch myself. So there's one tree that I got to take down. It's a little bit hairy, and that's because the power lines are right here, and that's a primary line up on the top. So I just got a real rough spot, just started out here. maybe the next day that I'm here, I can actually pull my vehicle in here. That'd be nice. Pretty close to the power line, so we're gonna have to put some chains and straps and cut it down safely. So I'd like to take this tree out right now, but it's really not safe to, because if I want to push it into the woods, it's gonna hit other trees and get hung up, and I don't want any risk like that at all. So what I'm gonna do is come over here and see, it's gonna hit this tree when it comes down. So I gotta get this tree out first, but I can't get this tree out until I get this tree out. Push that this way. But I can't take this one out until I take this one out. So I'm down to starting out at this one, pushing it that way, and then I can keep knocking them down like bowling pins, going in the same direction each time. I just want to do it away from the road, away from the power lines, away from anything that's important. And this is the best way because I'm already coming in this way, so I might as well push it in this way. You could push it that way, but why do that when you weren't clearing trees out of there anyways? So you're already clearing trees out of here, push it straight this way. So after this, I can safely take down trees without hitting anything important. So right here is the corner of the 50 by 50 that we need to clear. So inside the 50 by 50, we need to take out all the stumps and roots. We don't need to make it perfectly level, but we just need to make it so that you can kind of put a lawn in there. There's about a 50 by 50 area here that we need to take out trees. So the nice thing about the way that I do it is we have a sawmill, so we can utilize these trees. In the past, I've let them go to waste. All the softwoods. The hardwoods, I've always saved those for firewood, but softwoods, I never really did anything with. I usually end up just burning them. Hemlock works really good, and white pine works really good for the sawmill. Spruce doesn't work well at all. I've had really bad experiences with it around here. Just it cracks and splits. But hemlock is really nice. It's actually a little bit better than white pine. So this is something that's really weird. I've never seen this before. Across the street, there's nothing but white pines when it comes to softwood. There's no hemlocks at all, not one single one. From all the way from the corner there to as far as I can see that way too. Not a single hemlock. Now look over here. There's not a single white pine over here. Not one. Not even a sapling. There's nothing but hemlocks for softwood. The hardwoods are kind of the same, but this is really weird. I've never seen this, and I don't understand why the road would divide unless a long time ago people planted these trees, but I highly doubt it. Doesn't look like it. But that's good, because white pine is a good wood, but it's got sap all over the place, and it just makes it undesirable to work with. Hemlock is a little bit heavier, but I think it's such a better softwood to work with the sawmill. Just the fact that you don't have to worry about the sap, that's awesome. So there's a lot of hemlock in here. I'd say 1 out of every 2 trees is a hemlock. So that's good though. I won't let those go to waste.